Rogue Tier, we still winning. Magic Cardo, we extending. Dark Law, he still contending. Sunrise, your lights in it.
Yugi peoples and Master Duel duelists. Welcome to the deck profile for my Master Duel hero deck that I've been using to help people become better hero players. I am currently, I'm already Diamond 1 with it. I reached it like way earlier than I usually do. Usually I just do like 3 duels a day just to do my daily quest. But during the attempt to, play good duels and be able to show people a thing or two with the heroes, I ended up I got tired of the bot thing, so I decided to go ahead and hit Diamond 1. But the problem with that is a lot of people just quit the game depending on what your board state is. So it's rough out here. One of the first things that I know that people will notice and ask me about inside of the deck is that I'm not playing Destiny Hero Plasma and I'm not playing Destiny Hero Dark Angel. And the main reason for that is because they're two really good floodgates. And a lot of times, like I said, your opponent will just quit the game, not try to do anything because, there's not really much they can do with a floodgate like that up on the board. So what I tried to do is create a deck that my opponent would be able to interact with, that I won't be able to just lock them out of the game. That way, hopefully they would stay and play, and, I would be able to, help people with certain matchups that they might be having trouble with, tell them why I do the things that I do, and, just try to help people be better hero players. So that's why the deck looks like it is. It's exactly 40 cards. I wanted to just be as efficient and consistent as possible. So we'll start off with, I think the first thing you'll see on there is there's one effect Veiler. And usually when you see a one of hand trap like that, is because we're running cross out designator. I feel like cross out designator is really good in Master Duel. It's almost like you have to have it because Max C usually just ends your turn. So I wanted to have a bunch of cards to be able to stop Max C. So there's a total of, I think, 12 going second cards, including the 2 forbidden droplets. I like to have droplet because a lot of times, even when you do hand trap your opponent, they still are able to set up crazy boards in this game because their ban list is so different from ours, and they just do crazy stuff with it. The one-ofs are 1 effect Veiler, 1 nib, and then you got 2 imperms. I decided to run 2 imperms over the 2 effect Veilers because I like that imperm can't be hit with Call by the Grave, and people have 2 of them on here, so I felt like I'd rather run 2 imperms than to run 2 effect Veilers. And then also, if y'all saw my video against Virtual World, it's good to have the imperms off inside of there. And I'm pretty sure there are probably other decks that it's better to have the imperm off in there so that you have a trap to send off a forbidden droplet so that your opponent can't chain a trap card to the forbidden droplet. I felt like it was important to have some traps off in there for the Virtual World matchup because you know how they like to chain that chuche to your forbidden droplet so that they can still get VFD's effect and just kind of lock you out of the game. So yeah, we got 2 of those off in there, and then we'll go to the hero lineup. As you'll see, 1 increase. I'm a big fan of 1 increase, so there's only 1 increase off in there. 1 Destiny Hero Denier, only 2 Stratos. I don't want to draw a whole bunch of Stratos, so I feel like 2 is perfect. Summon 1 for that first turn, have 1 for a follow-up, and you're good. There's only 2 Vions. The reason why, I really feel like Vion is a better normal summon than Stratos, but trying to keep the deck at 40 cards and run it the way I want to, it only allowed space for 2 Vions. Then of course we got 2 Shadow Mist because you want to be able to send that off of Vion. If you didn't summon it off of a Hero Lives, you want to be able to special summon him with the boy Elemental Hero Graceful Charity so that you can get that mass change if you need to. So yeah, 2 of those in there. Then 1 Elemental Hero Graceful Charity. You get that draw 2, discard 1, so I like that. I only play 1 Ferris. I feel like I'm gonna summon Stratos and be able to search out Ferris most of the time. So I'm not really concerned about only having one Ferris. I don't need one for follow up. I feel like DPE, is pretty good follow up most of the games and stuff. And usually, depending on as if you play pretty efficiently with your hand traps and with using your effects and stuff, then your opponent's not gonna get another turn after that anyway. It doesn't always happen like that, but most of the time that's how it is. Then we got 2 Mally Boy, of course, because they're never gonna let us have 3 of those. And then 1 Honest Neos. If you check out like most of my deck profiles and stuff from the TCG, I've cut Honest Neos out a long time ago. Like, I just got tired of bricking, drawing it, and it's just, I felt like it wasn't needed. Heroes is so good at OTKing that you really didn't need that extra 25 damage often there. I really like saying often there a lot, don't I? But yeah, but it is often here because of the Agnister deck. Like, they set up that big old towers monster, and I just want to be able to make sure that I have it out for it because, it's completely unaffected by card effects, and yeah, that kind of sucks. So I just wanted to be able to tack over that boy. Then you got that one of Nib that's often there, definitely for a cross out because we kind of just lose to Nib. Then you got 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. That way you can have it out to those Vanity's Emptinesses. I mean, we don't have to worry about mine, but there are some floodgates still in this game, like Vanity's Emptiness, to just lock you out of the game. That one, Skill Drain. Of course, there'll still be Eldritch decks, and yeah. So you got to include the one of Harpy Feather Duster. That way you kind of have a chance. One of Poly, of course, for Vion. The one of Rhoda, so that you can search for Vion or really any hero monster that you might need. The one of Miracle Fusion that you can search for with your Sunrise. Then, of course, 3 of Hero Lives. I think this is usually like the main way I summon Stratos, so I don't have to normal summon him. But I feel like with 3 of Hero Lives and 2 Stratos and Rhoda that you're going to get to Stratos enough to where you only need to play 2 of them and to where you only need 1 Ferris, because most of the time, you're gonna search that off of Stratos. Then, of course, 2 Fusion Destiny, because people were abusing it. They trying to Diggy Simmons us, and so we only got 2 Fusion Destiny, 2 of those. 2 Mass Change. I know usually most people run 3. I only have 2 of them. Mostly because like the hand trap lineup and this game is a little bit different, whereas in our game people are running like 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler. In this we have to worry about the 3 Max C. So I don't feel like Mass Change is quite as good as in the TCG. So I'm only running 2 of them, and then there are like so many times where I was drawing like multiple copies of Mass Change or drawing Mass Change with no hero, and so just to kind of limit that, I don't switch to 2 of them. You search for it off of the Shadow Mist most of the time, and so you don't really I don't know. Well, I can't say that you don't really need 3 of them. I would really run 3 of them, especially if I was running more than 40 cards, but for 40 card sake, I'm only running 2 Mass Change off in there. And then, of course, the 2 Called by the Grave. It's kind of like mandatory in this game because, like I said, unless you're running like your deck kind of crazy, it's like you got to stop Max C from ending your turn. Like, sometimes you can play through it, you really can, but if I had the option to just completely stop it and not allow my opponent to have a chance to draw so many cards and draw into a hand trap that stops me mid-combo, I would rather go ahead and just stop it. And that brings us to our next card also, Crossout Designator, another card to stop Max C. Just like I said, Max C ends your turn so many times, and so because I'm running Crossout Designator, I felt like I might as well run the one of some of the hand traps and everything, just like have multiple ways to stop that Max C from killing you, because you see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Max C killers, like the 3 Ash, 2 Call by, 1 Cross Out, just because I don't want my turn, I don't want to lose like that. Then also, Crossout Designator can also hit my opponent's Forbidden Droplet if they don't happen to send a spell card. So we got 2 Forbidden Drip, because sometimes your hand traps just aren't enough to stop your opponent from going full combo. And as long as they didn't set up anything like Herald of the Arclight or their own Dark Law. Then you good. You just go ahead and hit them with the drip and proceed to OTK them with Trinity most of the time, or at least put yourself in a position to where you can play the game. Then my only trap cards, 2 Imperm. Like I said, I like it a little bit better than Valor since it can't be hit by a Call by the Grave. And also for the purposes of the Forbidden Droplet Imperm thing with the VFD and Virtual World. I mean, it doesn't come up all that often, but I think like the one time in my climb where it came up, like y'all saw that I actually like drew both of the cards. I was like, oh, this is perfect right here. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. It's exactly 40 cards, 12 cards for going second, just to make sure I have a chance to go. All right, then in my extra deck, of course, 2 of the boy Dark Law, the best floodgate in this deck, because I'm trying not to just completely lock my opponent out of the game. But Mass Change is very, very powerful. Dark Law is very, very powerful. Most decks can't play through it. They do concede to that card a lot, but I feel like it's one of those things where I just have to run it. Then 1 Mass Hero Blast. This card, like I really love this card. Like, it's really hard for me to take him out of the extra deck. Like, you want to get your Stratos effect that return a spell and trap card to the hand, like, is usually like pretty efficient in this deck. It's really, really good. Then 1 Destiny Hero Dangerous, the Darkwing Duck. That way, in case I'm trying to make sure that I get to my mass change, I have the Fusion Destiny 1 card Mass Hero Dark Law combo. Then of course 1 Sunrise, the OTK machine. 1 Ab Zero, the destroy my opponent's board Regeki. Then we got the Elemental Hero, the Shining. Like, this one, I just hadn't taken it out of my extra deck because at first I was running Super Poly, and I took that out. And I left the Sunrise off in there. I mean, not the Sunrise. I left the Shining off in there. I just haven't taken it out yet. I'm not too sure what I would replace it with anyway. Maybe Dystopia, maybe? I don't know. It just kind of depends. 1 Vision Hero Trinity, OTK machine. Especially, like, I feel like if you're running Droplet, you should probably run Vision Hero Trinity. Especially with Sword Soul being in the format. They love to summon their monsters in attack position for you to just clap them cheeks. And then 1 Mass Hero Acid, a 2nd Harpy's Feather Duster, the Escorito, because sometimes you have to go Fusion Destiny before you can bring out Sunrise, and there are situations where I still want to be able to draw 2, so I need a dark target since Fusion Destiny locks you into dark hero monsters. That way I can still get my Graceful Charity on. Then of course 1 DPE, best card in the game, best follow-up in the game. If he doesn't get called by the grave, then most of the time you just winning with that card. 1 Wonder Driver, because I like to reuse my Mass Change, or I like to reuse my Poly or my Miracle Fusion. I think most of the time, it's reusing Mass Change. That way you can double Dark Law your opponent, or you can Dark Law Mass Hero Blast your opponent, depending on what kind of deck they're running in the situation you're in. 2 Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader is really good for the follow-up. There are times where I need to use Cross Crusader to bring back my Denier. That way I can put back my DPE and be able to bring him out again if I need to, if my opponent called by the grave it. Also he can just summon DPE out of the graveyard in case your opponent like send it with the Golden Lord, or just use something to send it and didn't destroy it. And then of course the Verte Anaconda, because when your opponent hand traps you and you didn't lock yourself into heroes yet, you can just go Verte and make DPE and pretty much still win the game. The reason why he's banned in the TCG and the OCG, but for some reason he's still alive on Master Duel. So yeah, that will be it for the deck profile. It's very, very simple, very straightforward, very consistent. Like, I only lost I think maybe 2 or 3 games climbing up into Diamond 1 this season, and most of the time it was against boards that were just completely crazy and I just couldn't do anything about them. But like I said, no Plasma. I'm actually gonna put Plasma in there because I'm kind of sick of the Honest Neos, and then there are situations where I don't have a better card to search for when I use my Cross Crusader effect, because of just the hand that I drew might be pretty crazy insane, and I just end up adding Honest Neos that I end up not using. So I might put Plasma off in there, try him out for a little bit. Like I said, the thing I'm worried about is like not actually having like interactions with my opponent, and my opponent just like straight up quitting the game because I built like a crazy board state. So for teaching purposes, I try to exclude stuff like that. But hope y'all like the deck profile. It could probably be better, like I said, if you're really, just aiming to win games. Like I would say, go ahead and replace that Honest Neos with Plasma. Probably go ahead and play 41 cards, add that Dark Angel off in there, and you'll win a lot more games like that because people can't play through floodgates like that. So yeah, that's that right there. If you like this deck, hit me up, let me know. And like I said, I appreciate y'all for watching, all the likes, subscribes, comments, and I will catch y'all on the next video.